Hi, I'm Simon and these are my gardening jobs for June. One of the jobs for June is when the tomato plants get to this size, these lovely healthy plants growing in our compost trials area, where we try different composts from different suppliers, which will help us choose what we're going to do for next year. One of the jobs is side shooting tomatoes. Now this is something that frightens the life out of some people, but the tomatoes that grow tall need to be side shooted, if that's a word. And if you can just see in between there, this leaf joint here where you've got the main stem, then you've got the leaf that feeds the plant, and then you've got the side shoot that wants to compete with this main one. And we don't want it to compete, we just want this one to keep going up there. So this has to come out. This is about as big as you want a side shoot to get, because the bigger they get, the more difficult it is. If you just pull that down, snap it that side, just heard the little snap, and then go back the other way and snap that way, that takes off the side shoot. So side shoots are just another part of the plant that is unnecessary, and it just takes energy away from the rest of the plant. So we require this center leader, the main stem in the middle, to grow up high, and then the trusses of fruits come off of that, and that energy that we've saved it by taking them off will go into the fruits, give us a higher yield and give us tastier fruits. That takes us nicely onto feeding plants. Tom Wright is the best known tomato feed, excellent for feeding tomatoes. And when this, what they call a truss, the flowering truss, as soon as that starts to develop fruits, that's the time to start feeding. If you're growing hanging baskets, I recommend the Miracle Grow All Purpose, as it's got an all-round feed. It helps to keep the plant growing, which is important, because those plants that you put in hanging baskets tend to like to flower at this time of the year anyway, don't need any encouragement, but they do need encouragement to grow. So this is a good feed for that. And a nice little segue onto our lawn care product, the Evergreen Complete 4-in-1. This helps to keep weeds down and keep moss down, and it feeds the grass, so you get a nice lush lawn without weeds and without moss. It's also got this very snazzy little spout that you turn over like that. You hold the handle, tip it down, and then you just walk over the lawn and it comes out. It's nice and easy, lemon squeezy. Done. Coming from lawn weed killing to general weed killing, it's basically two different types of weed killer that you need. One is a fast, rapid one like this Meadow Rapid Weed Control. That works on what we call annual weeds. So they're the ones that grow from seed only. They flower and throw seed very quickly. And then that seed lays down, waits for good conditions in the next year, and they grow from there. So a good way of telling an annual weed is if you can pick it up without saying ouch, and the roots just come up very quickly like that, little fibrous roots. That's an annual weed, and you use the fast rapid weed control to kill it very quickly. If you use something with glyphosate that goes down into the roots and kills it, you're potentially going to be too late. It's too slow acting. So the little annual weeds or plants, they grow really quickly, flower, throw their seeds all over the place, you've missed your chance. Whereas this is, I call this a flamethrower. So that works really quickly. But if you use a flamethrower on any perennial weeds, now perennial weeds, I would say the ones that you can't pull up, or if you grab them, you go ouch, either nettles or brambles. So that's what I would call a good way of telling a perennial weed. So a Roundup with glyphosate works really well. You spray it on the weed. Be careful of your precious plants because it will kill them too. Spray it on them. That goes down into the roots over a couple of weeks. Slowly but surely kills it off, and then you'll see it going, changing colour and dying. Now here's a plant that I wouldn't want to spray with weed killer. It's a Philadelphus. Bella Toile is the variety. It smells delicious. You just need to smell one. If you've got one in your garden, go out there and smell it every day that it's flowering, because it is absolutely delicious. If you haven't got your own Philadelphus, come to Meadow Croft, as we've got plenty of different varieties. As I say, this one's Bella Twile. It is my personal favourite. You can probably see some little black aphids there, little black fly and green fly. At this stage, where it's not horrendous, it's not ruining the plant, it's not killing it, I leave them because we've got loads of little blue-tipped chicks and robins, as we know, our famous robins had little chicks flying around, and that's food for them. If it got really bad and the plant was getting ruined by them, then I would use a bug clear. Bug clear, which is for organic growing. So you can spray it, it's safe to everything apart from the aphids. But personally, I leave them on a lot on the plant. Another job for June is just to trim back and deadhead roses. Now this is Rosa rugosa, which smells delicious. I wish there was smell-o-vision on this, but there's not. But Taylor, you can confirm that they smell delicious, and you described it as Turkish Delight, I believe?
Yes, Turkish Delight.
Yep, don't eat them, but other than that, they are very much like Turkish Delight. So we've got some of these flowers that have gone over now, thanks to the rain. Now, when you're trimming these back at this time of the year, you don't want to go too far back into the bush, how you would in the spring, where you cut right down low, waiting for the new growth to come up. If you trim them too far down low, first of all, it takes a long time for them to get going. Secondly, they tend to be really strong growing growth that goes, you get 1 or 2 stems come up, whereas this, you'd rather it be bushy at this time of the year. So just take it back, just to above a leaf joint, where you can just see that leaf joint there, chop it back like that, and then into your, well, actually I always just chuck it on the floor. Okay, so the reason for deadheading is that, again, the energy from that flower is going to go into this seed head. It's going to try, they've got thorns, just to let you know, they've got thorns, and that goes, all that energy goes into these seed heads, but we want to go, that energy to go back to this growth and give us the new flowers, these lovely little flower buds here. That concludes my jobs for June, even though there's a lot more to be done in June in the garden, including, don't forget to stop and smell the roses or the Philadelphus. It's most important. So hope to see you next month.